Oh, you're watching Nature Nate Encounters. This is Ian, sister Hannah, and Zach, and my fabulous cameraman Caleb behind the big camera. Today we're in North San Diego County, Herping, the last great grassland of North County. We'll be hopefully getting as much data from here as we can before it's developed and destroyed. It's slated for houses and all sorts of buildings and such. And as you can see, we've got plenty of debris to flip. We've got a lot of wonderful riparian habitat, as well as some artificial cover. So we're going to be board flipping here. This is where we put down some artificial cover. The snakes come underneath. Well, first the rodents come under there. They have their nests in their burrows. Then the snakes come along, eat the rodents, and start living under the boards. Now, these boards have been soaking for about, I've been out in the field for about a year, almost. And so they should be well primed for snakes and any other species. You can see right here, it's very well camouflaged. I put some dirt, some sticks and other stuff on top, and all these plants are starting to grow over the top of it. So, we already got one fence lizard, and there he goes right there, with Scaloporus. Let's see what we're going to find underneath. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now these are already getting a little bit dry, even though it's only February still. You have to dig down just a little bit to get to the moist soil. This is showing how bad this drought still is. We thought we might be getting an El Nino this year, but looks like we're still in La Nina. Didn't really come through and deliver the rains that the experts predicted. The other problem here is all the Argentine ants. They really when the board gets infested with Argentine ants, the mice don't like it, the snakes don't like it, and it just is an overall deterrent to actually finding anything here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to continue along the riparian zone here. You can see the boards along the... This is going to be more of a transition line herping. So I love the transition zones because you've got the sage scrub and grassy hillside right next to the riparian zone. Beautiful contrast where you get a mix of species. You'll have both the riparian zone species, you have the grassland chaparral species, as well as the species that only live in the transition zone. So hopefully we'll see some like the coat trips, patch nose, yellow belly racers. There's some species like that you'll find most densely concentrated in the riparian zone. All right, so these pontoons have been here over a year. I don't know, I saw a helleri under here once, a small one. Well, hopefully there's still, that little guy is still here. Oh, check it out. Oh, that guy's so much bigger than the last one. This guy's Crotalus helleri, Organus helleri. Oh, dang. The Southern Pacific rattlesnake. This is a big mama. Wow, obviously the drought hasn't affected her too much. She looks like she's got a good, healthy body weight, even for just coming out of a pretty bad drought like that. And, well, you can even see her button rattle on this side she doesn't have that anymore. It's more of a constant thickness all the way down the rattle, from what you can see. So she's an old girl. I'd say over 5, maybe even up to 10 years old. I'm not really, it's hard to tell, especially after they lose the button rattle right there. But she's being pretty calm right now, but if we get too close, she's gonna jump out here. Okay. There we go. She's moving. Now I'm just gonna let her go where she wants to go. Probably wants to go down to a burrow. Whoops. Ooh, down that. Actually, I'm going to put this back down so she can spot to hide. There we go. You can see her right here. There she goes. Here's that rattle. Very nice. I don't want to pester her too much or else we'll scare her away from this habitat. I think we'll let her calmly go where she wants to be and just hopefully she'll be here next time too. Oh, check it out, check it out. Woo-hoo. This is a gopher snake, man. Oh, this is a beautiful gopher snake. Pituferus cantifer inectens. This is the San Diego gopher snake, and oh, he is gorgeous. He almost went down this hole here. Look at this. This is probably where he lives, right down here. Just came up to start getting some a little bit more warmth to start thermoregulating right under the board there. That's the whole reason these boards work. The snakes live down in the holes, and they come up to the surface in order to thermoregulate, flip the boards, there they are. So not all gopher snakes are this tame. This one is especially docile. You'll see, sometimes when you get them out in the open, they'll be all defensive. They'll be hissing, striking, even trying to mimic a rattlesnake by both rattling the tail, which is a common defensive mechanism in all snakes, just about all colubrids and rattlesnakes, as well as flattening out the head to try to mimic those square or triangular head of a rattlesnake. Just trying to appear bigger and more menacing in general, and inflating the body. And so, but this guy doesn't display any of those characteristics. Yeah, I think we got him when he was a little bit tired, maybe sleepy. A little on the cool side. He was 78 degrees and the ambient temperature is about 87. So he might have just come out of his burrow to start warming up and thermoregulating, start warming up for the summer. It's still a little early in the season, being that it's February. So this guy hasn't really started being very active yet. And if it's a male, he hasn't really started looking for the females yet. First, he needs to get a couple meals, and then he's going to start pursuing females in the local vicinity in this field. So, and you can see this guy's had an interesting life. He's got some scars on the belly there. So those probably indicate a tussle he had with either a rat or a gopher. When these guys hunt, they'll follow the gopher or the squirrel down a hole. They'll squish him up against the side of the hole and suffocate him actually while he's still in the same tunnel as that the rodent actually dug out. So that's part of why the scales are keeled, is it helps him get more traction on the sides of the burrow. So, oh, just a beautiful specimen all around. Even a little more scarring here. Who knows? That one's on his back. That might have been from a predator, maybe a coyote or even another king snake. Who knows what he might have been fighting with. Most likely, though, it's his prey that leaves him with those scars, because that's what he has the most encounters with. He's giving us a good show. He's getting a little bit stressed out here. We don't want to overdo it, so we're going to put him right back down in his hole and let him relax the rest of the day. There we go.
Since I've already got it out, Nathan, you want to wrangle it?
Oh, you be the nature guy.
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
Thank you. We have the infamous herper, Caleb Smith.
Caleb Smith. We have another heller right here, and just wanting to give you a little more of a hands-on experience. It gives you a better look at what these snakes are when they're on the move.
It's gonna go down one of those holes.
See, most of the time they're super placid. They don't move around too much, but when you are willing to wrangle them just a little bit and get them in the open, they become very noisy and very fast. You also get a chance now to hear what they're like when they're being defensive and trying to warn you about them being a venomous species. And it's also a great opportunity to see how non-aggressive they are. You can see how I'm getting in his face. I'm very, very hands-on with the snake, and yet the only thing he wants to do is get away from me and hide in this little hole in this little bush here. So they're really not nearly as aggressive as most people try to make them out to be. In fact, I think he's already gone down a hole now and we've lost him. So don't believe everything you're told about rattlesnakes.
Nature Nate does not condone rattlesnake wrangling. So usually you get to see us in action actually catching the snakes, but this guy, this coach whip, some of you recognize, these guys, how feisty they are. They're also extremely fast. So, as Ian told me, they're the fastest snake in North America. So I'm sorry we didn't have it in the moment, but we had to grab him quick before we could even turn the camera on. But this is a juvenile coach whip. These guys get over 6 to 8 feet long. And this little guy, probably just a yearling, already big enough to eat an adult lizard. So like, usually they hunt little udas at this age in their life, this size, but these guys are just phenomenally fast and gorgeous. This guy will turn anywhere from stay this brown color, or he might turn bright pink. They have a wide variety of colors colors that they can display as an adult. And they are also notoriously one of the most feisty snakes in North America. These guys simply won't stop biting. You can see he's already nipped me a few times, but he's small enough he can't even break the skin. Oh, there he goes again. I don't want to startle these guys. Well, another awesome thing about these snakes is they can make their eyes forward facing. So if you can get a good look at these eyes, they can look straight at you. Often when you're hiking along, all you'll see is just their head periscoping above the grass. As soon as they see you, boom, they're gone in a flash and you'll never see them again. These guys are simply top predators of the lizard world. You're the last thing you want to, probably the last thing you're gonna see if you're a lizard living in the grass in this type of field. Oh, an awesome find. Don't usually catch these guys under the AC or the artificial cover in the boards here unless you're at night when they're sleeping under the boards. Then it's a little easier to find them, but caught this guy snoozing in the middle of the day. What are we doing? What's that?
He's a jumper.
Is he going?
Yeah, he's going. One, two, three.
Oh, there we go. That's a... Oh, bad habits.
Hey, Hellray.
Wanted to get that little cute.
You got that Uda too?
Baby rattlesnake, baby Hellray. Look at that. Now this one was probably born last year, so you can see that button rattle. Looks like he's even vibrating it, maybe. So a lot of people think that the small rattlesnakes are so much more dangerous than the big ones. Well, to that, it's baloney, honestly. The only truth to that myth is that drop for drop, a newborn rattlesnake, before it's had its first meal, does have slightly more toxic venom than a drop of adult rattlesnake venom or any other rattlesnake venom. But honestly, any other baby rattlesnake is much less dangerous because they have a lot less venom that they can inject into an attacker. So in all honesty, this guy's a lot less dangerous than any adult. So as you can see, sometimes it takes a lot of patience before you start seeing the fruit of your labors with these boards. I laid probably 200 boards and we've got 3 snakes under the board so far. One of them was under a boat that I did not put there. It really is a game of seeing who can outlast the other. You just got to be consistent, come back no more than once a week. And be sure you flip your boards in the spring. You want to get it when it's nice and green. Temperatures are up today. It's about 85 degrees, nice and humid. The grass is about as tall as it's going to get this year. We've already had pretty much the maximum amount of rain we're going to see. So it's all hit and miss. Often mornings are better, but this is the only time we could come today. Unfortunately, Zach wasn't quite able to grab the second one, but we got one gator. Is that the male or the female?
A male, I believe.
The male, and the female eluded Zach right here by the age-old tail drop, unfortunately. Anyway, caught them in the act. We only had time for a picture though, but it's not something you see every day when you flip the board, so you never know when you're going to see a surprise like that. Thanks for joining us today. We got to see some cool species, coach whip, hellerai, gopher snake, a bunch of lizards, skinks, udas, scoloporus, alligator lizards. Interesting things. Not as good as I was expecting for the amount of time we put in, the number of boards we flipped, but it's still early in the year, and like I said before, you gotta have patience. You never know how it's gonna go until you go. You just gotta flip them and see what happens. This is still extension of a 3-year drought, so I guess I shouldn't have had such high hopes. But still, it was worth a try, and we got a few rewards for our effort too. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the experience, and I hope you join us again next time when you'll have an encounter with Nature Nate.